Here is a short introduction to JSON Web Component. Just think of it conceptually, and I'll give you a short demonstration here. So here is the code that we would like to have, which is, imagine if we just have components that are giving a name, and inside the component we just drop the JSON that we would like to have. The template tag is ignored by the browser, which means that everything that goes in here is simply just ignored. So it's safe to put stuff inside the template and it will not cause any errors on the page. But there's a special thing about my product. This is a web component, and I told it to look inside the template and then pass the JSON. Take the JSON and insert it into my product. So the things that you see here render the product ID 123 is put into the template. So let's see how the web component looks like. So this is just a normal web component. There is no frameworks used. It is just natively HTML and native JavaScript, and this is how a web component can be made. This is made with this custom element that's defined the my product tag as my product, and that refers to the class up here, which extends the HTML element. So what we are going to look at is just here we can look at the first. It will get the template tag. It will make a query selector for template. So that means it will look inside of itself from my product. It will look inside. So the query selector says this, and this refers to my product. And inside my product, which is this one, it will search for the template tag, which is here. And the inner HTML is everything between this bracket here and down here. That's in HTML. So we get the JSON, which is just plain text here. It doesn't know it's JSON, but we're going to tell that on the next line. So we will pass the JSON from the template tag here, and it will be turned into parameters. We will now create an HTML text document here, and here we will insert the parameters from the JSON that is passed now as a, when it's here, this is a JSON object. And when it's a JSON object, we can actually access the different fields in the object, or properties, call it whatever you want. So that means that this template actually will be rendered like here. And you can see a funny little detail was that when my product, when there is this onClick thing, it will call this and then .hello. So you can see down here, because we are using a class and it's object oriented, there is a method here called hello, and we are extending the HTML element, which means that this one is also just object oriented. So of course, when I click this, I will get the hello. So the benefit of using this approach in the web component is, imagine if you have a library of components with just JSON inside. It's very readable, that's one thing. You can have UI designers, they can just put in the text they want here. It's copy paste friendly. It's totally decoupled from any frameworks, and the backend team can also just, when the design team is done with their iterations, the backend team can just simply just go in here and say, oh, I want to paste this object here as JSON, and they are done with the component. They don't have to like the friction between the front end and the back end is more or less hopefully gone with this method. So that was a short introduction to like the idea of the concept of how the future web maybe could look like, hopefully, and make the front end and back end a lot easier. This is just one thing out of many things, but just conceptually, it's a very nice way to make components. So that was JSON Web Components.